After such a long crossing all the way from West End in the Bahamas to St. Augustine, Florida, we were happy to rest a little. But new country, so time to go find internet to check in. To St. Augustine!
Yeah! We made it.
$12.78 for a dinghy dock. We get showers and Wi-Fi, so that's why we're right here. We're gonna be checking into the US using the road map. Hopefully it goes smooth. That's what we used last year and it was like super easy. So let's try this. Your arrival has been submitted and is awaiting review by a CBP officer. Pending. Just kind of waiting to talk to someone and get all approved, and then hopefully get a cruising permit this time. I guess they don't want to talk to us. Your CBP Rome inspection is cleared, completed. You do not have to report to the CBP office.
Woohoo!
Yeah, but okay.
The easiest time ever.
Yeah, but now I don't really have a cruising number, so how does that work? Maybe I'll just email the nice lady from Jacksonville. Now it's mission, get a milkshake, burger and fries, get a SIM card, and get a little bit of groceries. First time walking on land in quite a few days too. So. That's the one thing I was craving so much when I was sailing that night, that I didn't like the swell and the north wind.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited. If I could open my mayo.
Oh yeah.
$1.99 instead of like $5.99. That's kind of exciting. And we've got a couple of things, but Winn-Dixie is not the cheapest, and we've got a bit of a walk back, so we're just grabbing a couple of little things.
I think there might be more than a couple little things there.
Well,
How excited are you right now? I know I am.
I was gonna say, I think you're way more excited about bacon than I am.
Yep.
But I'm
am.
excited about the baguette.
Ooh. Well, we got both.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be, wow. Watch out, it's gonna be hot. Hot.
Oh, it's so hot. I want it so bad.
You're crazy. I'm excited about the fruits. Peach, Georgian peach.
That'll be good too.
Oh. Too bad you can't smell. The boat is a mess once again because we're doing spring cleanup. So
let's go over to the beach. The tide is down quite a bit, so it's a high tide, king tide almost, so pretty close to it anyway. And so we're getting really big fluctuations in the height of the tide. And so the sandbank right behind us is like extraordinarily exposed. It feels like it's only a few boat lengths away, but it's probably much more than that. It always seems like you're closer than you actually are. How far do you think that is? I'm guessing 3 boat lengths.
actually we will probably end up on the sandbar.
I'm not even starting the engine. We're gonna float there and enjoy a nice cold beverage at the same time.
Arriving though. Cheers to life. there. I wish you could be there. What is this? Like, it looks like a brewery itself, no? No, I don't want to touch it.
He only has one arm, he's pissed. Boy, he's mad.
Poke, poke. Some Corey's fingers.
Such a fine romance. Look how big I am, slowly waking to see what's real, to finally heal. How will I call without your word? How will I call?
It really just kind of depends. So our still runs anywhere about 5 to 6 hours a day or so, and then bottom usually takes about a day or so. So within less than a week, we can crank out most of ours.
We're here at City Gate Distillery. We're gonna try out some free samples and see what they have here. It seems like they do it all in-house, and I'm excited to try, especially the maple. Anyway, one of the whiskeys. There's a couple nice whiskeys on there, so that'll be nice.
And it is, and because of how mature the flavor is, it's a very one-note flavor. So it's got a lot more mixing potential
Flavor to it, and it tastes like breakfast. Sometimes I pour it over my pancakes, put it in my coffee, fry my bacon in it, whatever gets the job done. That's for sure. Yeah, really easy to do.
Little drop. It looks delicious.
Bit of a newer phenomenon nowadays, but people are really going nuts for this stuff. No pun intended.
a few various kitchen spices and just a little bit of a cinnamon extract. What sets this stuff up?
Cheers.
So far, so good. Yeah, you're in it to win it, guys. I love the attitude.
And that's got the white lightning.
Yeah, it's equal parts. So half of that was 100 proof. Okay. Yes. This is moonshine. It's an unaged whiskey. So
Are you enjoying the mackerel and all the veggies?
Oh yes, it's kind of funny. We still have some fish from the Bahamas. That little painted mackerel. Actually, it's quite big, to be honest. And I had it right up against the cooling plate, so it was frozen for most of the trip. So that would still be good. But fresh cucumber and tomatoes and asparagus, that's exciting. We only had a few days in St. Augustine, so we really wanted to make the most of it. Even though we've been here a few times now, there's always something new to experience, a street we haven't walked on, and beautiful architecture. Wow, we're in St. Augustine Memorial Day weekend and it is busy. There's a lot of people. Let's go explore. Corey's finding goodies.
More electrical stuff. Some of our vents that are getting all corroded and rusted. So we'll replace those. And Alex is getting some material. And maybe we'll get a faucet or something, but I don't know. Some things are a little higher priced and other things are really good deals here, so you gotta look.
I'm so excited. These are gonna be our new cushions. Woo! Because our cushions are destroyed.
And how much was everything we got?
$32 for like the material, a bunch of like fuses, cotter pins, a bunch of random little thing, pumps, and we traded a couple of things for that as well. Good deal.
Yeah. Well, we have our last meal ever. And we have our last meal basically cruising. I mean, we're going to a dock in Sisters Creek before we head out to the marina that we're going to be hauling out at. But essentially this kind of feels like the last day cruising. But at least our last supper is going to be delicious. We got some steak here and some other veggies, so it's going to be really nice. But it's kind of sad. I'm certainly going to miss cruising this season. It was way too short of a season. And hopefully our next season is a lot longer with our third crew member. So we're just gonna try to pick up our anchor. They're fully fouled around their keel, or around their rudder, and we're just gonna use fenders to try to fend us off until I get our anchor up, then we'll get out of their way. People that are not prepared should not be out here. I'm happy to help people, but this is just not good.
So we were eating supper, pretty much watching that boat get closer and closer to us. And we're just thinking to ourselves, are they gonna pick up anchor and just like get going? And they only have a stern anchor. Their bow anchor apparently doesn't work, isn't hooked up to anything whatsoever. And eventually Corey and I just got on deck with our fenders and poles because we're like, they're like a boat length away from us and the wind's pushing them into us. And the current as well, and we're like, are they gonna do something? Like, they're not even calling out to us asking for help or anything. They're just drinking and not really minding anything, seems like. So gosh, people, some people don't know what they're doing. So now Corey's going to help them out. We tried motoring forward to pick up our anchor, but they're pretty much on top of our anchor, so we can't go anywhere. And their anchor chain is fouled around their rudder, so they don't have any steerage whatsoever. So it's a bit of a shit show. So we managed to pull forward and pick up our anchor after they dropped our boost anchor for their bow, and they seem to have unwrapped the stern anchor that they had from their rudder, so that's good. So now we just drop the hook again, and Corey's going to get our anchor back. But wow, what an adventure! Never really experienced anything like this. So one of the, well, actually two lessons learned. Always have more than one anchor on your sailboat. And don't wait until you've drifted or jagged onto someone else's boat before you decide to do something about it. Because then it's kind of too late at that point, and it's really hard.
Well, it's time to get going. We're pulling up the dinghy, gonna pull up anchor, and then we're gonna head over to Sisters Creek. I thought about taking off the engine because this is probably the last time we're gonna use the outboard here. But then after last night, how useful it was having a dinghy to fend off a potential damaging circumstance for the boat. Nothing dangerous, but you know, the boat was drifting into us, and anyway, you'll see it in the footage. But man, that was a stressful time, and I kind of felt bad for some of the guys, or you know, the people on board, because you know, there was one young captain and he was having trouble kind of making good decisions, in my opinion. So eventually I just decided I was going to take over the situation, because my boat was in danger as well, and everything started going pretty well. He was willing to listen, and everybody else, or some of the other people on the boat, kind of chipped in. Somebody got in the water, untangled the line from around luckily not the prop, but the rudder, and I just brought out one of our anchors to get them out over to the side a little bit, so that we could pull up our anchor, get out of their way, and then they had more time to defoul their rudder. So once they got their rudder defouled, it was all pretty easy from there, and they were able to go back to the marina and have a good time. But it just goes to show you, you know, you go out for a nice day on the water, and things could turn pretty bad pretty quick. So it's good to have at least one person on board that, you know, can make decisions and isn't too intoxicated or anything like that, which I don't think was their situation. I just think he was a little young and was having trouble making choices. But anyway, it all worked out for the best, and I'm glad we all got out of here safe and sound. So we just started the engine. We're letting it warm up a little bit, because we notice when it's running at low RPM when we first start it, sometimes when we put it in gear, there's a bit of rattle or clanking, and I think it's something normal. But we also have this issue. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a squeak, and this light's turning on. But our buzzer for our overheat sensor is going on, but it's definitely not overheated, because I literally just started the engine and it was doing it. So I'm pretty sure there's an electrical problem that we're gonna have to figure out between the panel and the sensor itself that is not making a nice connection, and it's telling me it's overheating when it's not. Luckily I installed a temperature sensor as well to kind of monitor it a little bit, so that'll give me an idea. But it's certainly gonna be annoying if that doesn't stop.
We are going to Jacksonville! Oh yeah, that's kind of calm. We decided to do the ICW because it's been blowing quite a bit.
That's the beauty of the ICW between Virginia and Florida. If it's not nice offshore on the Atlantic, you can stay in the protected waterways. The downfalls, though, are there's lots of traffic, and you have to motor most of the time. Luckily, this portion doesn't have any lift bridges. You only have to watch out for the currents.
How's the ICW?
Well, it's a heck of a lot better than it would have been on Memorial Day weekend. There's really not a whole lot of traffic, and there's no big tuna fishing boats or anything like that. And we have current with us, so far so good. Well, we're just coming up onto the St. John's. The current is actually in our favor for the majority of it. We only had a little bit of time where it was against us, and we're almost at Sisters Creek, where we're going to dock for the night, hopefully, if there's any room on there. The St. John's River can be pretty busy since there's a commercial port in Jacksonville. Big cruise ships and container ships navigate these waters, and they travel way faster than our small sailboat with only a 13 horsepower. Plus the current can be really strong, more or less 5 knots at times. Well, we made it to Sisters Creek, right at the peak of the current. We tried twice and there just wasn't a whole lot of control of our speed in reverse to slow us down so that we could dock comfortably. So we switched everything over to the port side and dock that way. But it's certainly not the easiest because everything's on the port side and it just makes it a little trickier. Swapping all the lines, and thankfully there's people here at the dock, so they give us a hand tying off the lines, or at least catching us as we were coming in. So it worked out pretty good.
We wanted to thank all of our newest patrons, Noske Lathium, Charles Stevenson, and David Pollock. Thank you so much for the support and wanting to donate a little bit of money towards this amazing video production, right? And if you're new to the channel or have been considering helping out with our videos and making all of this possible, there's a few different ways. You can become a patron, give us a donation through PayPal, or another really good thing that doesn't cost you a penny is to subscribe and share our videos.